more from your guitar. Today I'm at the Ryman Auditorium, joined by Stephen Drozd of the Flaming Lips. Stephen,
Hello.
how you doing?
Hey, good man. Good to have you.
This is a long time coming. I remember, I don't know if you'll remember this, I remember this was one of my first major interviews I did for the magazine, was in 2010. We talked in 2010 about the album that just came out. I can't...
Embryonic, probably.
Yes, will forever be linked because a quote that I got pulled from your article talking about this guitar got put into a book called Instrument, and it gets us both credit. So there you go, folks. A little premiere backstory, but we're not here to talk about my backstory. We're here to talk about his backstory. Tell me about this very special 1967 Jazzmaster.
Okay, yeah. Summer of '92, I think. Bought this from a place called Horn Trader in Oklahoma City for $700.
Wow.
Which back then was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of money back then. And I brought it home. I was very excited. You know, Jay Mascis, Dinosaur Jr. had one. The Sonic Youth people played it. You know, a lot of cool people played the Jazzmaster. I just liked it for many reasons. Bought it, had the original pickups. I left it at Wayne's a couple of weeks later. I come back to Wayne's house and he's put the hot rail in it. And I was really pissed off at first. But that ended up being like a great thing because live with all your effects pedals and all the gain and everything, your amps, these pickups can just howl like crazy. So this is like a guarantee. If you're having trouble with feedback, it's always going to kind of help you in that realm, you know?
Yeah.
It's not as bright as this guy, but yeah. So that's the story of the guitar. And then there's never been a Flaming Lips live show without this guitar.
Wow.
So, yeah. I've you know, gotten to some other ones over the years, but this guitar has been at every Flaming Lips show. So since Wayne started using it in '94, and since then.
Yeah. Now, what did it look like when you got it in '92?
Well, when I bought it, it was in pristine condition, all original, no scratches, no dings, no nothing. But that was a long time ago, so here we are, basically 31 years later. So,
other than the hot rails, is there anything that you or Wayne have done to the guitar other than natural wear and tear that is going on tour with you guys for so many years?
Right, yeah. So that was put in, and these were disengaged. None of these work. So tone here works for these two guys, but none of these buttons work. So, and that's, if you know Jazzmasters, you know you can get more nuanced tone between the two pickups
the rhythm
and stuff.
circuit.
So we were just trying to kind of simplify it. So we didn't go as far as Courtney Love it, but we made it real basic. You know, the Courtney Love guitar is like, you just plug in, there's no tone, there's no nothing you can mess with. So we didn't do that quite, but got pretty close to it. So
do you ever use the neck pickup in situations?
I switch back and forth all the time. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
The show we're playing now for the Yoshimi Battles of Pink Robot show, I use mostly this pickup.
Oh.
And this is only on a couple of things, usually more distorted riff kind of stuff I use this guy, but on clean, pristine stuff, it's usually just this guy. So actually, it's a combination of the two, so yeah. My amplifier situation is not very interesting. It's just a Roland JC40, so some people might sound a little, I don't know, sterile, but it works for me. So
what do you dig about it?
About the amp?
Yeah.
I started using, actually back in 2006, I've been using JC120s, and I started using Roland KC550s, which are these crazy like keyboard amps.
Yeah.
Because we had a couple of songs where I was using like sub bass on the guitar, and it was like blowing stuff up. But after I stopped doing that on Free Radical song, I started moving back towards the JC120s, and then decided that I wanted to take up less space because I use a stereo rig. And so we tried the JC40s, and I've been a fan ever since. So to me, they're loud enough for me, and they're smaller, less footprint. But I'm not like an amp person, you know what I mean? I'm not like I need a Super Twin reverb from 1963. I'm not really that kind of dude. So
you use the modulation circuit on there, the chorus?
No. They're plugged in, levels are set, and they just stay like that. I thought about that. I thought about, because the chorus on those amps is really nice. It's a really nice chorus, but I've not done that. So. And
what should we know about strings you put on the Jazzmaster and tunings that you're using with the, you guys are doing the Yoshimi set? Yeah,
Yoshimi, these are, I think they're pretty sure these are 10s.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. A little bit of resistance when you're bending, you know. And then during the Yoshimi show, there's no weird tunings on that stuff. So this guitar is always standard tuning, but if you get to my other guitars, there's a couple of pretty weird tunings on this guy for sure. And then this guy, we can talk about how he's missing one of his 12 strings.
One of his limbs.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
Should we go there? Maybe one of the other guitars real quick?
Yeah, if you'd like to, yeah.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I just started using this wireless thing, and I really like it. Because in my mind, I always picture like, Slash on the train tracks, wireless or something, or you know what I mean? Like out on the side of the stadium. But, so, you want to get this guy first?
Yeah, let's go there.
Okay, so...
The Epiphone Gibson. We noticed when we took photos before, the headstock says Epiphone, but the...
Oh yeah. There's a few interesting things about this guitar. So bought this as a double neck, and we were having some troubles with this guy. We took it off to repair it, and I was like, man, it's kind of cool looking, you know. And Wayne's like, that guitar looks a lot cooler with just one neck, so we never put it back on. And then we got Stephen Colbert to sign it when we did his show.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we were at a festival in England in 2010, and Mick Jones from The Clash was there watching Roxy Music. And I was kind of drunk, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna see what happens. So I took this guitar up to him, and I was like, hey man, would you sign my double neck, single neck guitar? And he was like, he's like, mate, if that was really a double neck, I wouldn't fucking be seen touching it. But he's like, I gotta admit, the single neck on the double neck's kind of cool. So Mick Jones signed it right there. So
That's rad.
So, and then the story with the 11 strings, it's kind of dumb, but I don't have that pedal with me now, but there's the Line 6 filter modeler pedal
Yeah, the
that I would
FM4.
use. Yeah, that I would use on the song Yeah 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 song. So it's like the Tron octave effect. So when it's trying to track octaves, like two different notes, it doesn't really know what to do. That effect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's a single string, single note, it can track it perfectly. So it's like a synthesizer sound. But when it has to deal with it octaves, it kind of scrambles it a little bit and makes it kind of weird. So I wanted that, but then on the G string, I actually just wanted just one string, so it'd be just solid tone for just that part of the scale. That doesn't make sense, but so I took the string off to see what it was like, and instead of putting another unison on, I just left it one string. So that's the whole story with
No,
that. So
I gotta ask because our mutual guitar hero would be Jimmy Page.
Yeah.
He played live with the Doubleneck EDS
Yeah.
1275, but you, like he did, track and played with the Fender 12.
that's right. Yeah.
Why not tour with the Fender 12?
I just don't want to mess it up. I'm sorry.
That one that one you're okay with, but this one,
This is a touring guitar, and you can duct tape it, and you can do whatever you want, abuse it. But the guitars I have at home, because Wayne wanted me to bring the Fender 12 out
Yeah.
a few years ago, and I was like, we played one show with it, and I noticed just from the one show that had some belt marks and some sweat. I was like, nope, going
got
back
nervous.
home.
Got nervous.
So my '66 Fender 12 stays at home. So yeah.
Do you mind maybe hearing how this sounds through your pedals real quick before we move on?
I'll just show you a good example of one of the things I use it for.
Yeah. Now, is this getting used in the Yoshimi set, or kind of like the other material you guys are cover?
This doesn't get used during Yoshimi either. This
Okay.
is for stuff from the Terror, stuff from Embryonic, stuff from other records, but nothing from Yoshimi. So
Okay.
I'll just give you an example of, let me think for a second. Yeah, go down that thing here. You can see my pedal board is actually pretty boring. So there, this guy. It's going to get pretty loud though, probably. They might not like that, but. There's that guy. So that's this guy through ring modulator on here, and through this sub decay liquid sunshine, which is like I guess an overdrive pedal you
Okay.
call it. So I do that, and then oh wait, I'm tripping. I use this on Yoshimi Part 2. Hold on. This is a fairly new development, so I don't really think of it very often. But let me see here. This goes here. This goes here.
Now, I don't know how you would classify that sound. Like so you got fuzzes, you got modulation.
Yeah,
That is
it's
bonkers.
Ottawa and a Zvex Fuzz Factory, and that's it. But yeah, so, and it's the thing about this guitar is it doesn't usually have to be perfectly in tune, because I'm usually running it through some kind of like modulation or something, like the
almost
ring
adds to
modulator
it.
or whatever. So kind of adds to the skronkiness, you know. So yeah, it's a. And then
Well,
later on
normally a
this-
12 string is such a headache to tune, so that's good to know for your tech.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's happy about that. Yeah. It's another effect I use there. This Nemesis delay is like a new thing in my life. I like it a lot.
Oh yeah, from Source Audio.
Yeah, just multiple delay things, you know. That's pretty cool. So yeah, and then I use him also on the guitar solo on it's another really loud song, but I wish we could just crank it up, but I guess we can't.
So yeah, the 12 string isn't used for anything pristine. It's destruction mode.
It's destruction mode, yeah. Like the gate's super high, compression's
Sounds just
pretty
like
high.
Stairway.
Yeah, see, could I play a Led Zeppelin riff? All right, there you go. Jimmy Page. Just like Jimmy Page, just like him. I use it on that song, The Wand off War of the Mystics. Usually this would be a lot louder than this, so
I got to ask real quick before we move on to the last guitar. I know you guys have sound check, and I don't want to waste too much of your time, Steven, but when you're creating these sounds and the freedom you have with the Flaming Lips and what you guys do, are you chasing sounds in your head, or are you like on the ground almost stumbling upon sounds that become things that help make ideas and songs and stuff like that? Or is it both?
It's a good question, yeah. Usually, you know, everything is in the studio. You know, I'm usually not creating new things when we're doing live. I'm just trying to recreate what we did in the studio. And that's usually kind of a big undertaking in itself, you know. But depending on what record you're talking about, you know, like the stuff on Embryonic does a lot of vintage guitar effects, you know, wah-wah pedals and funny cat and weird fuzzes and vintage delay, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then a record we made like The Terror, which is almost completely keyboards. I think there's 3 guitar parts on the whole record, and it's all ring modulator with this guitar. So it just depends on the record, you know. Or like Yoshimi, that's like, you know, we were kind of like almost like pop songwriting with electronic keyboard stuff, and the guitar played kind of a minimal role on that record. So it's mostly just kind of clean traditional playing. So it really just depends on the stuff, you know.
Between you and Wayne and, you know, the whole, you know, family that is Flaming Lips is like you guys have such a unique ability to make whatever you want and not be held to, hey, you're indie or you're rock, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we
you
got
guys
lucky. Yeah,
really do blast through genres.
Yeah, we've been
pretty
lucky
disregardlessly.
That way. Right. I tell people, like, you know, whatever music you like, there's probably some Flaming Lips out there somewhere that you would like. You know?
Yeah.
Even if you like old traditional country or something like that. Because we've got some stuff that's definitely in that realm, you know.
Should we real quick see the SG, because you had kind of teased that with some cool tunings.
Yeah, that one. In fact, I'm thinking about getting another guitar just so I don't have to retune it so many times, because the first time I used it, it said it's to a drop C.
Okay.
And that's for Ego Trippin', from the Ego Trippin' at the Gates of Hell off the Yoshimi record. And nothing too crazy. It's just effects wise, but I'll just show you real quick. So it's standard tuning everywhere else, but it's a low C. And then this is, let me see, figure this out real quick.
And while you're digging up this patch, might as well give the shout out to the wireless company that you're using too. What do you got there?
I don't know the name. Hold on. Yeah, Sondery, Sondery. So I started using another company I won't say, but if you are using the wireless for the guitar, it interferes with the wireless for headsets. Which, why would you have that conflict with your own products between different things? You know?
Think they'd check that compatibility?
Yeah, check the compatibility, and they didn't. So I tried a different brand. It was even cheaper. I just ordered off Amazon for like $80. Sondery. So far, so good, man. It's just been great. So
knock on wood.
So I do a lot of songs where I'm playing keyboards and guitar at the same time. So I try to keep it some things where I'm just like flipping back.
Oh wow. Okay.
So nothing too exciting. Just drop C with some overdrive and some reverb.
I gotta ask, because you know people talk about humbucker height and if it's ideal or not.
Yeah.
I see the neck pickup is basically concaved into the guitar.
Yeah, and that again.
Is it functionable?
Yeah. So here's switching between the two.
So it does work.
I usually use this guy though, so that's this guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the Guitar Magazine. That's you guys. So yeah. So and then this gets tuned back up to standard, and I use it on a song called "Silver Trembling Hands" off Embryonic.
And does this one still use 10s like the Jazzmaster?
I think this has 9s on it.
A little more bendy.
Yeah, just for whatever reason over the years, it ended up having 9s, and I stuck with it. It's supposed to be really like brittle like that. That's the intention. So standard tuning for that, and I use that on She Don't Use Jelly.
Oh yeah.
You probably know that one. That's just not exciting at all. Just
Now I'm not seeing any of the. I know for years and years you use like the GT 8.
Yeah.
And the Line 6 stuff. I don't see either or any of those on there. So maybe this is a good time to go through the pedal board real quick.
Yeah, so the GT1000 is boss. I love the GT8. I still have it in the workbox just in case something goes wrong. I was just so used to the size of it. But so when COVID hit, a lot of people would know this, but the Flameless did a series of concerts where we were all in bubbles.
Yeah.
The musicians in the band were in bubbles, and everyone in the audience was in a bubble as well. Maybe Google it. It's kind of crazy. We made the CBS Sunday Morning News with it. Anyway, so when we started doing those shows, my whole space was about this tall, and it was a bubble. So everything had to be pared down. So when we first started doing those bubble shows, I got rid of the GT8. Okay. I got rid of the big clunky Line 6s, even though I love them, nothing against Line 6, I love their products. But I just wanted to get smaller stuff, so I got the smaller delay pedal. And this GT1000, at first I didn't like it because there's just so much you can do with it compared to the GT8.
Overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. But I'm starting to get a handle on how the menu works and scrolling through and saving stuff, and I'm really, really coming around to it. And then the UAD stuff, I've been a fan of Universal Audio plugins since like 2009.
Yeah. And
so when they said they were coming out with actual real pedals for real life, I couldn't believe it. So I've got the Golden Reverb and the Starlight Delay. That's my default reverb for almost everything.
Okay.
And I've got that set for the end of Feeling Yourself Disintegrate off the Soft Bulletin. Nothing too special. But yeah, the GT1000, I've really come around to this guy. I use the Zvex Fuzz Factory on, I think I played some of it before. Yoshimi Part 2. It's got the auto filter as well. I use this on 2 songs. It's just kind of a chorusy effect, but it's the ADT tape modulation thing.
All right.
This company is Kies.
Yeah, Kies. Yeah. Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, yeah. I got this guy. I would demonstrate, but it's too boring. I got this guy because I've noticed the treble pickup in the Jazzmaster. It seems like it's getting more brittle with age. And so I got
It's cranky.
Well, it's just real tinny.
Oh, okay.
Not a good way. So so I got this Boss. I think it's really great just to shave off some of the super high EQ, and it's really made a big difference on that guitar. This is the overdrive for She Don't Use Jelly, but it's just a simple overdrive.
Okay.
And I was using that with the crazy ring modulator that I played before on Always There in Our Hearts. That was a real loud, skronky ring modulator sound. So nothing, nothing too special. And then I tune this up to, this is really, like, what are you doing? So still standard tuning, but this gets tuned to F. We have a song called Worm Mountain. I don't know if some of your viewers might know the song. So it's in D, and in the middle of the song there's this. So the riff is this. We did in the studio like that, and because when we're in the studio, we don't really think about how it's going to be live. We just make it in the studio.
Yeah.
And then again, like when we're starting to play live, that's when we figure out how the hell are we going to do that. So this was one of those things where I tracked 2 different parts, and one was just based on a riff that Wayne wrote on the bass, and then another part was just going. So I put the 2 together. It's pretty fun, actually. But yeah.
Has there ever been anything that stumped you guys translating it from studio to stage?
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Let me try to think of something immediately.
More of a hypothetical, not that I'm trying to stump you, but yeah. No, so there's definitely
it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So, in fact, sometimes we'll be like, we really can't recreate whatever that thing is, so we're just going to do a live version of it that's not really, it'll be the song, but it won't sound exactly like the song, if that makes sense. So,
yeah.
Like a lot of stuff on Embryonic, we couldn't, it was such a weird lo-fi recording, and so the space of it was so weird that playing it live was just kind of hard to recreate the vibe, so we just decided we're just going to play it live, and it'll just be what it's going to be. So, yeah. I'm trying to think of any more interesting guitar examples for you. Yeah, so that gets tuned up, and it goes back down to...
Throughout the night, between the 3 instruments you have here, what would you say, like, percentage-wise, that you land on each one?
It's a good question, because lately it's been almost completely even. So
33, 33.
If I had a set list from last night, I'll just tell you real quick. If you could, can you wait 30 seconds? I'll let you know here real quick. Let me see. So, like I said, Yoshimi is mostly Jazzmaster. So Fight Test is a Jazzmaster. One More Robot, nothing. Yoshimi Part 2 is the Epiphone. Magicians is Jazzmaster. Ego Trippin' is the SG. Hypnotist is the SG. Summertime is the Jazzmaster. Do You Realize is the Jazzmaster. Havanas Mons is the Jazzmaster. Come Back Out for the Encore. She Don't Use Jelly is this guy. So Returning Hands is this guy. Always There in Our Hearts is the Epiphone. And Assassins of Youth, again, is the Epiphone. Pompeii Got the Demerung is the Epiphone. Warm Mountain is this guy. And the last three are the Jazzmaster. So
Got it.
you can edit that to be a lot shorter if you want, but it's fair. Hey,
And for people keeping a score before we head out, and I know you guys got to get busy.
yeah.
Is this an Epiphone or is it a Gibson?
See, I don't know. I bought this from a pawn shop in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2009. And
it came just like this.
it had two necks, but maybe the other one said Gibson. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the funny thing is, even Gibson has tried to give us a free one of these, but for whatever reason, this neck is fatter and wider, and for me, that's better than skinnier and more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this Jazzmaster, if you grab this Jazzmaster and play it, it feels so much nicer than regular Jazzmasters to me, because I don't know why, but the neck it's just wider. It's got more
something
depth.
to grab onto.
Yeah, and same thing with this guy. It's wider and it's farther out. So I don't know. I just like that, but I don't know if it's an Epiphone or a Gibson. Maybe we can look at the serial number or something and figure it out, but I don't know.
And one last question before we get out of here, because during our interview in 2010, you said you had never bought, up to that point, a new guitar. Have you bought a new guitar yet? A brand new guitar?
This was bought new.
Ooh.
In 2011.
Okay.
Bought brand new in Oklahoma City. And now it's one of my favorite guitars, even with this.
With the dented in humbucker. The dent bucker.
Have I bought any other new guitars? I have a problem with vintage guitars, especially on Reverb now. I bought an SG copy from Japan made by the Trump company.
Interesting.
You can whatever. I just bought a 1973 oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Guild. Steve Malkmus from Pavement plays one. Guild.
Like a bird? Like I know they have like
something
Thunderbird.
100. I forget what it's called.
T-Bird 100 maybe?
Maybe. It looks like an SG, but slightly different on one side than the SG.
Yeah. I think that might be the T-Bird.
Can't believe I can't think of the name of it, but yeah. But this might be the only new guitar I've bought. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Steven. I know that you guys are about to do sound check. I can hear the PA get about torched up. So
well, I know it's not, I don't have like the gonculator or anything like that but in here, but it's boring, but it gets the job done for me. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Everyone stay safe out there. Steven,
thanks, sir.
Flaming Lips,
Thank you
Chris
guys.
Key, for your guitar.
Yeah, thanks.